Good evening, good evening, good evening, and thank you for joining me. So much talent. My name is Alethia. All right, so I just want to get my Instagram folks involved as well. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. I know I didn't realize when I came on when I set this up that there was going to be this whole debate or the whole Kamala and her new running mate uh, on live. So I realized a lot of you might be watching that tonight. So I understand. If so, catch the replay. But for those of you that are joining me, thank you so much for joining me. You'll be able to see me tonight live from Instagram. Um, let's see, Instagram, Facebook page, the So Much Talent Facebook page, and also you'll be able to see me here on YouTube. All right, so y'all, I really can't remember how how I set up the layout. I don't know. I can't remember if I set the layout as a portrait or as a what however you call it. Anyway, y'all, I gotta write this stuff down so I can remember. But I hope this is coming across okay. Uh, and let me get the comments straight. Hey Kim, hey lady, how art thou? I know, I know. Look, I've been peeping you here and there some of your lives. I don't get to see you in the mornings though, so maybe you're not doing morning lives anymore on Facebook. I don't know. Um, I used to see your notifications come up that you're going live, but I noticed that you're going live more on TikTok, so that's awesome. Um, so share this out if you don't mind, and let folks know that I'm here. If you're watching on Instagram, thank you so much for joining in. I can see your comments as well on Instagram, so let me know how you're watching. So I'm gonna put this here so I can see you folks. I can see you good folks there as well. So I'm not sure. Are you all seeing a full screen or are you seeing part? Is it like section off? Hey, I always pop up. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm used to saying that I am not going to be that long, but I don't even know how long I'm gonna be. So I need to stop saying that because my ideal is not to be here a very long time. Um, but I want to make sure that I share with you everything I want to share with you. So sometimes it ends up being a little bit longer than what I anticipate. All right, so um, hey lady, part of a I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure what that is. Let me know. All right, so yeah, I'm getting back to the book. We'll be doing both. We'll do okay. All right, part of a screen. Oh, just the middle of the screen. Okay, gotcha. Well, here, this is impromptu. Hey, Jacqueline, this is impromptu. So y'all bear with me. Let me see if I can change the uh layout or the settings. Um, oh, it's not gonna change me. It's not gonna let me change it while it's live. However, let's see here. Um, uh, all right, so we're gonna leave it like this. All right, before I be to mess something up, we're gonna leave it alone. I think it was a little bit different the last time, but I'll keep playing around with it till I get it right. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure all of this out. So I thank y'all for bearing with me. Um, thank y'all for being here tonight. All right. All right, thank you. I appreciate you. For those of you that are on Instagram, thank you so much for watching. All right, so this is exciting. Now, for those of you that are watching me live on So Much Talent on Facebook, I won't be able to see your comments. If you would like to comment or you want to say something, ask a question or anything, you'll have to either follow me on Instagram or YouTube, which is so much talent on either of those platforms. So if not, just enjoy it. You can still leave a comment. I just won't be able to respond to you at that time in the live, if that makes sense. All right. So from time to time, I'll be looking over for those. Most of the time, I'll be looking at my phone, but from time to time, I'll be looking over to my left, maybe to your right, because I'll be looking at some of the comments from Instagram. All right. So this is part two of my prepping for the 30 whole 30 fabric challenge. All right. So l- let me see if I can. All right, here, let me do this. I'm gonna see if I can add um, tag Jacinta in this. And basically, this is me just sharing with you what my process is and my progress is so far. All right. Hey, Rochelle. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, I'm gonna share that with you because I just bought what I needed to help me get started. Because as you know, I tomorrow is the beginning of the challenge. And so I was just humbly reminded that my little 6 yards of what I did for my quilt, it ain't gonna even count. But it's all good. It's all good because y'all, I got more projects where that came from. All right. So I didn't need a lot. As when I in my last video, I shared with you some of the plans that I had, my sewing plans. All right. And y'all, shout out to Monica Tate at That's So Monica during our 2019 retreat. Kim, I don't know if you remember this. I think you were at that retreat, but yeah, you were at that retreat because you bought the most yardage of fabric. But she gave us passed out these fans, and I still have mine, and it is heavenly. So you'll see me using that from time to time. All right. So, but anyway, real quick. I was like, I'll cut not start to make sure I have everything. Yeah. So I should have been smart like that, but I was just so anxious to get started with the quilt. So, and by the way, somebody messaged me. I can't remember who it was. They said I need to add a back into the quilt. It's not finished. This is the fabric that was I was gifted. I was gifted a large amount of jelly rolls, several jelly roll pieces from um, Miriam Forster, aka Frenchie. And so I just went to town one night. I wanted something to do. I was up late at night, so I went ahead and got started, y'all. But I still need to get a quilt done for the Make Nine Challenge for Rochelle at Rochelle Handmade by Designs. So this is that, and I do have to add the backing to it. So it is pretty much the topper. This is the topper. It is 6 yards in length. Um, I mean 6 yards of fabric. So yeah, all right. So uh, you did the last time and 10 yards didn't count. Oh no. All right. So while we're talking about this, how let me tell you how this 30 whole 30 fabric challenge works. All right. It's not my challenge. Hey Addie, and thank you for those that are coming in still. If I don't address you, please forgive me. Trying to look at both cameras. But so the way this whole 30 fabric yard challenge works is that you can start anytime. All right. So I learned about this maybe about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago. I learned about this challenge. Hey, Lady Nick. And this challenge is hosted by Jacinta of Pink Mimosa by Jacinta. So if you're on Instagram, you'll be able to see her there. Um, and she explains the whole challenge. You can look in her bio and get the gist of the challenge. But basically, the overall is that if you sign up to join this challenge, you especially if it initially starts tomorrow, August 7th. All right. Some have already started. But when you start this challenge, you cannot buy fabric and you cannot buy notions. You can buy patterns, but you cannot buy fabric, inclusive of interfacing. All right. So that's why today I was making my Joanne's run so I can go ahead and get into everything that I needed. And y'all, I was so excited because I have just about every notion that I needed, except for just a pack of buttons, about 8 buttons for a jacket, sleeve jacket, for the buttons on the sleeve. And I wanted to make sure I doubled up or got more than enough interfacings. Hey, Will, thank you so much for coming in. Want to make sure I had enough interfacings. Shirt Peach, thank you so much for coming in. On my Instagram, folks, I appreciate y'all. Um, so and then let's see what else. There were a couple of belt buckles that I needed, but I do have some that I purchased when we were in Atlanta last year. So I may not. Uh, if I need belt buckles, I'm gonna make it do what it do, and then I'll have to do it after the challenge. I also needed a pair of shoulder pads. I didn't get those. I forgot about those, but hey, I'm gonna make it do what it do. If I have to make my own shoulder pads, I will. But I am not going back and start it over. I'm ready to dig into this 30 challenge. So with that being said, if you buy any fabric while you are in the midst of this 30 yard sew up, you got to sew 30 yards of fabric before you buy any more fabric or any more notions. So this is very much, if you've been following me for any length of time, you know this is like our stash busting challenge in January, where we don't buy fabric or patterns the whole month of January. Now I gave you just 30 days and you can buy pattern or fabrics. Now, Jacinta is gracious to so we can buy patterns, you just can't buy fabric or notions. None of that. But there's no time limit on it. You be your own accountability partner, or you can hook up with somebody else and you be each other's accountability partner. But you need to make sure you don't buy pattern fabric or notions before you sew up 30. If you do, you got to start all over again. So I hope you have projects planned past 30 yards just in case you slip up like I did. All right, so Rochelle says, if you buy notions, interfacing of fabric, you start over. Yeah, so I learned that today. All right, because I was excited. I had included this as my 6 yards in my challenge. I was bragging, oh, I got 6 yards in already. I knew this, y'all. I knew this. But now I can't count this in because I had to go and buy interfacing. I had interfacings, y'all, and I probably had buttons I could use, but it wasn't what I wanted. So I still bought notions and I still bought interfacing, which is considered fabric. So am I sad? Yes. Is it the end of the world? No, because I have more projects than I need that I've already set aside. All right. Hey, Michelle. So, but if you're in, you're in. If you're in the challenge, you still got time to join in. It starts tomorrow. Um, just go on over to Pink Mimosa by Jacinta. Look for the post that says the 30 fabric 30 yard challenge, I think is what it says, and just say I'm in. All right. However, now make sure you got all your notions. Make so that what we've been doing was pairing our projects together, pairing our fabrics together with fabrics. So in my last video, thank you so much for the hearts. So in my last video, I paired up my fabrics with my patterns. That's where I left off at. In this video tonight, you're going to see, I'm going to show you my patterns and I'm going to show you how I kept I'm keeping track of my projects and what I'm going to do. All right. Hey, Lady Mo. All right. Miss Lewis, how art thou? All right. So again, now if you're on YouTube, please share this out, like this video. Please, thank you for leaving comments, if you will. And if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. But definitely share this out. For those of you on Instagram, thank you so much. I can see your comments. For those of you that are watching on the Facebook page, I cannot see your comments. So if you want me to see your comments in real time, hop on over to YouTube, So Much Talent, or hop on over to Instagram, So Much Talent. All right, but at either rate, don't forget to share this out, share this with your friends and everybody who you think wants to join this challenge. All right, now, mind you, I am not the host. I am a grateful participant because I need it. Shout out to Rochelle. If you know, you know. Hey, Fab Gma. Hey, Miss Divya. How art thou? Thank you so much. You all in? Awesome. I have several of y'all are all in. Some, like Rochelle, has already started cutting her projects out, which is smart. I haven't. I just got them laid out. So I'm gonna show you what I have, and I just to tell you this: if you go to Jacinta's page, her Instagram page, and click on her bio, she has a couple of things that will help us out. She printed out this whole 30 fabric challenge that you can download, and it allows you to list your projects, and it allow you to put your pattern, the project name, the pattern number, the yardage, the date you start, the date you complete it, and then she has a section for the mini challenges. And she has another page, a bingo page, where she has many challenges that you can do. So if you're not sure what you want to do, you're not sure where to start, there's no excuse because she gives some great mini challenges to start us off. And I'll go into those in just a minute. But so if part of your project is, if it's part of the mini challenge, which is this little bingo card right here, then you can note that and make little notes of what you're doing. All right. Let's see. Rochelle says I will get to tagging everyone who I think will benefit from this challenge. All right. Yeah. Cause look, Rochelle tagged me, y'all. She was all up in my messages, and she was like, "Girl, you need to do this." So I'm like, "Why you think I need to do it?" Cause you see fabric all around me. I really did need to do this. So, but I joke with Rochelle, but I thank her so much for tagging me because I did not know about it. And it's a great way to build your wardrobe up. If you've been one that's been saying, "Oh, I need to make me some clothes. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I'm gonna get started sewing." If you're a newbie in sewing, if you're looking to rebuild your wardrobe, if you need inspiration, this is a great challenge. So shout out to Jacinta for hosting this challenge and putting it out there. All right, so I think Jacinta herself has gotten rid of hundreds of yards of fabric. Oh, and that's the other thing. Within this 30-yard challenge, you are allowed to give fabric away. You just can't receive fabric. All right, you can give fabric away. You can even swap fabric. You can swap fabric. And I'm thinking if it's equal amounts, I'm not sure. But if you're within the challenge, you're able to swap fabrics within the challenge. All right. So Carmen. So if you are not say like if you're missing some, you're short on interfacing, but somebody else might need lining or they might need notions. This just me saying it now. You might clear the switch to center, but I'm thinking you can swap those items, but you cannot buy. Okay. Now don't get happy with the swapping, y'all, because the whole idea is to deplete your stash. All right. Thank you so much, Carl, for coming over on YouTube. I appreciate you. Um, you are right. We see fabric. I know, right? You see all this fabric. You're like, girl, you need to get rid of that fabric. Okay, that's what I'm doing. All right, it's better to receive than to give. Listen, Carmen, don't be over here starting stuff now. Don't be starting nothing. Cause listen, it's look, you talk about it's better to receive. I think that's the other way around, man. It's better to give than to receive. But you tried it. You tried it. All right, so I have, you can see this sheet right here. Everything from this point up is my 30 yards of fabric. Now that very top list right there, that very top list was my 6 yards. So I'm gonna have to scratch that off and I'm gonna have to add now. I won't have to add because right below that, that's extra projects. All right, that's extra projects just in case I missed it somewhere. I can fill in the gaps. I can fill in the blanks, right? So I ain't playing on Carmen, you tried it. You tried it. All right, so I will say this on the very last box on Jacinta's bingo card, it says fabric swap. Swap a piece of fabric with another person and create something with it. So, with that being said, you can't just be swapping fabric and park it. If you're gonna swap the fabric, you gotta sew it within those 30 yards. All right, that's gotta be part of your 30-yard challenge. Don't be trying to swap fabric and park it now. That ain't how this works. All right. And I'm sure Jacinta would agree with me. All right. Hey, so in my closet, Virgin Islands Empress. Thank y'all so much. Hey, Addie, thank you so much. And sweet Lily, thank you so much for coming in. Kim says I definitely need to sew some of my stash up. The struggle is real. Listen, Kim, come on, girl. I knew what you meant. All right, so we all, y'all, if you be honest, we all have stash. All right, so this is why every year so much talent does the stash busting fast, pattern and fabric fast, which is a lot of fun. I know some of y'all be like, I can't be doing that. But listen, y'all can sew through it, y'all can get through it. To me, this is a little bit tougher because if you need interfaces or notions, you just stuck like Chuck, unless you're gonna start all over from the beginning. But we got this. We got it. All right. So anyway, let me get into where I am right now because I promised y'all part two. Where my fan at? I need my fan. Y'all 58. I need my. I mean, am I 58? How old am I? 56. Woo, I need my fan. Again, shout out to Monica for this cute little fan. Um, all right, so go on Jacinta's profile and pull you a whole 30 fabric challenge sheet so you can keep track of your projects and print you out a bingo card. All right, you'll thank me later. All right, so the only thing I needed, you have a mini store, girl. We all have a mini store, and you can't be buying 75 yards of fabric, ma'am. You need to just park it. Stop it. You've been sewing your stash though. Okay, Carmen. But you've been buying stuff too, I know. So here's the thing. You could have been sewing from your stash, but now you can't buy. Now you can't buy fabric. So this is gonna be the challenge, not buying. That's hard for a lot of us to do. That's hard for a lot of us not to buy. Because we see all this cute fabric out there. Y'all know Grace be showing all that African print fabric, uh, uh, Z and Kiki Textiles, and all these places be showing all this cute fabric. So now we got to sew it up. All right. Now we got to get it done. Hey, you're tired and thank you, Erica. Thank you so much for coming in. All right, so I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna get to it. So I did pull my 30 and some extras. I didn't bring my extras over here. So I told you, I'll just briefly go back through. So, what I did was, I initially pulled my fabrics, right? And I counted the yardage. And I did initially count the yardage, but what I did was counted the yardage of how much it was going to take for me to make my project. So, even though I have a good little bit of yardage in some of this fabric, it might not take all of the fabric to use it. So, I had to go by the amount of fabric that I'm going to use. So, note to self, Divya, you laughing? So note to self, don't be counting the yardage of fabric you have. Count the yardage needed for your project. Don't be cheating like that, okay? All right. So then I tagged this initially with my little hello tags because that's what I had on hand. So I'll know how much fabric I needed for my project and the pattern number. All right. So then after I chatted with you all last week, I went ahead and partnered my fabrics and my notions with everything I needed, and I stuck everything inside the envelope. Now, I tried to find the extra large Ziploc bags or the storage bags. I saw somebody had some, I can't remember who it was, that shared how they stored their projects. And they looked like a really nice size bag, not the extra storage, like the jumbo bags, not that size, but it's bigger than a gallon size and it's smaller than like the jumbo bags. So I can't remember who it was, but if you are watching me, inbox me and let me know where you got those bags from. Because I looked today and I couldn't find them. All I found was the gallon size bags, and that ain't gonna fit everything, all of my projects in one bag. Uh, Addie said that is what I'm going to do from the pattern. Yeah, the Dollar Tree has some. I didn't go to Dollar Tree. I went to Dollar General, so maybe Dollar Tree is where I need to go. And if you would inbox me and let me know what I need to look for, what they're called, because I looked in the storage section and I also looked where they keep the Ziploc bags, but I didn't see it. All right. Thank you so much. This fabric is actually, I got this fabric from Melanated Fabrics last year when we visited. So Much Talent took a trip. We took a bus trip to Melanated Fabrics and did some shopping, and I found this beautiful piece. It's a linen. Um, Found it there. It was like a linen twill type, but anyway, whatever it is nice. And so I love the print of it, love the color of it. So I'm gonna do this cute little jumpsuit out of that. And this required boning, and it requires a zipper. Actually, it requires boning and button, and then there's a belt. So I put my little belt buckle in there too. That I'm gonna use. Put everything in there. So that's how I'm packaging and storing up right now. So I want to say also shout out to Mary Kelly. I don't know if Mary Kelly will be watching on Facebook on the page or how she'll if she'll be watching at all. But Mary Kelly donated a large amount of zippers during the during the So Much Talent retreat last year, and she gifted me like uh, she gifted me a whole bunch of zippers, and that came in handy uh, to prep for this project. So shout out to Mary Kelly. All right. Uh, Divya says the dollar store has some nice bags, pouches that will work to hold patterns and notions. All right, so if you would, I'm gonna ask you one other thing. If you would screenshot it and let me know what I'm looking for. Kim says I use the 2.5 gallon bags at the Dollar Tree. Okay, 2.5 gallons. All right. All I was seeing was 1 gallon size. It's the 2 gallon bag. Okay, all right, perfect. You bought them at Walmart. So I did not go to Walmart. I did go to I went to two other places, but it wasn't Walmart. So thank y'all for that. All right. So what they're saying, you heard what they said, is that 2 to 2.5 gallon size bags. You can purchase at Dollar Tree if you have Dollar Tree in your area, or you can purchase at Walmart. And somebody else said Costco. So that should hold all of your projects, all of your pieces for your project. Sweetly says, what sticker is that? The one you just showed. Are you talking about this right here? I just grabbed used this because that's what I had on hand. These actually were leftover stickers from the retreat, and I just a piece of paper or tape would work too, just to note what your project is, what yardage you need, and what pattern you're going to use. But you are still going to use this. So once I did all of that, y'all, I transferred everything onto this sheet. So I listed let's see, I listed my pattern and what view I was going to use, and I listed my yardage. And over here in my notes, I listed what kind of fabric it is, so I'll know I won't mix up my projects. All right, so are you talking about the zipper bag? Not the zipper bag, well, yeah, the zip bag, not zipper, but yeah, not just like the Ziploc bags, but it's much bigger. So I think these ladies know what I'm talking about. They're probably all the 2 gallon bags because they were bigger than the gallon size, but smaller than like your clothing storage or your shoe bags. All right, so all right, so I did that for each one of my projects, and right now I got them laid out on the table so I can get to them. So the next video, I will share the process of me cutting them out probably and getting started. So I don't know that I'm going to cut them all out at one time. Now I know Rochelle has done that, and that's probably the wisest thing to do, probably the easiest thing to do, so you can just kind of zip through your projects. Me, I like to cut and get started. So I might need to kind of just train myself to just cut the projects out. But y'all, I'll be ready to sew. How many of y'all how many of y'all cut your projects way in advance, all of your projects first and then sew? Or do you like to sew as you go? Let me know in the comments. So yeah, thanks. I have stickers that I have been using to tell me where I got it from. Length, width, whether I've washed it. Okay, awesome. And like I said, don't forget to download this. Go to Instagram, Pink Mimosa by Jacinta. Look in her bio, and she makes this downloadable for you, so you can transfer that information onto the sheet and keep it all in one place. Because like now, my little stickers, They starting to pull up and maybe come off. All right. Hey, Gloria, you sew as you go. Yeah. See, I like to see my stuff. I like to feel like I'm doing something. If I do all that work cutting, I just want to see results, y'all. I just want to see results. All right. So this one required elastic. Some of my projects didn't require a whole lot, but this is a loungewear pajama set that I'm cutting out, and it needed elastic, and I had elastic, so I didn't need to do any of that. So I won't go through all of these. Um, some of these that I knew that I wanted to finish up for some other projects, like my pants for the No Me 2069 I just did. I found a pair of pants that I wanted to go with that. So all of my zippers and everything that I needed, I got it. Um, so yeah, put my zippers in there and just everything and stuffed it in here until I can get my bags that I want to use. All right. So, hey, so legal chick, thank you so much. Hey, Angel, how art thou? All right. So, what was the other thing? Oh, I did have interfacing. All of the interfacing I did have, I pulled it out. So I had a lot, but I was just afraid because y'all know interfacing, we can take up a lot of interfacing because it's only but so wide. And I've got a lot of pieces that may or may not need interfacing. So to answer your question, Rochelle, what I bought today, um, and they do have a the interfacing is 50% off at Joann's. There's a doorbuster sale. It is a doorbuster, so you can't use like that extra 10, 15, 5, 10, 15 coupon off. Um, so I did, this is for a client. This is not personal use, but I do muslins for my clients when I make their gowns, just to do a muslin fit before I cut into their fabric. So I needed some more of that. I got about 10 yards of that. And then I bought four, four types of interfacing. All right. Oh, I forgot about payday. So yeah, I had something to snack on while I'm sewing. All right, and of course, yeah, I cannot leave Joann's without a cute bag. Gotta have a bag. Anybody else like that? Gotta have a bag when you come out. All right, so this was my last project. All right, sorry about this is one of my last projects. I think this is one of the extra projects. It was the white pantsuit or the off-white pantsuit. I needed buttons for. Oh wait, I'm missing some buttons. And I hope they mix in this interfacing somewhere. Okay. I'm gonna say wait, I'm missing something. All right, so I bought me an extra pair of extra package of hooking eyes, skirt hooking eyes, pant hooking eyes, just in case I needed it. And this was the um, pack of buttons that I needed for my off-white suit. I've got that, and got some hooking eyes for closures up top, so I needed that. Um, I like to work with the EK 130 Easy Knit interface, and I use it in almost everything that I sew because I like the feel of it. I like the weight of it. I don't like it. I don't like my interfaces too heavy. Try to match it. So I find this is good in a lot of stuff that I use because a lot of my stuff is lightweight. So even though it says easy knit, it doesn't have a whole lot of stretch or give to it. Depends on how you use it. So I got this in black and I got it in white. I got 3 yards of each one of these. And I like when the lady at the counter, she asked me, she said, "Do you want your instructions?" I was like, "No, but just give me a piece of it so I know what the style number of the interfacing is, because I'll never keep up with the style number." Um, Sweetly says, I've earmarked a six project. I earmarked 6 projects so far, generally by 3 meters of each fabric, which is usually enough to make a project. Yeah, so I'm like that too. I'll buy anywhere between 3 and 5 yards. It depends on what the project is. But that's my rule of thumb, anywhere between 3 to 5 yards. If I have something in mind that I'm going to use and I know about how much it's going to take, I go with that. I usually buy a little bit extra, and I encourage you, if you're new to sewing and not sure, you want to buy extra to test the color fastness of the fabric, test to see if it's going to fade or anything, and you also want enough to test to see if it's going to shrink. So you want to be able to have enough fabric to wash it or launder it or dry clean it to see what it's going to do, because you don't want to cut into your fabric after the fact, find out it's going to shrink, right? So make sure you buy more than enough. All right. The other piece of fabric that I buy is um, this is the this is the Shape Flex. It's iron on. I like all iron on interfaces. I do not like sewing interfaces. Um, all iron on, and this is the SF 101. This is the Shape Flex. So there's a suit that I'm going to make, and there's also one garment that's requiring cuffs, um, and I may need to use it for that. So I bought the Shape Flex for those garments. So I tried to think of everything that I might need interfacing for and what I might need them for, um, to use to go ahead and get it. This is also this was the third kind. I did say I bought three types, but I bought four types. I bought three types for two pieces of one, and this is the third different type of interface, and this is the one Pelon 180. It's the knit and stable. So it's a little bit, this has got a really good bit of a stretch to it. So this is for my garments that have knit, I mean my knit garments, but I need to stabilize, like if I'm going to do a facing or something like that, or if it has a band and I need to stabilize it. So I've got this that's more prone for knit fabrics. So I feel like I've got everything that I need. I didn't need thread because I have tons of thread. Didn't need to get that. Sweetly says, short. Tell me your first name, Sweetly. I'm sorry. She says, I'm short, 5'2". By the time I shorten, it's enough. Okay, I got you. Yeah, see, but that comes, I'm sitting on my stool. So, y'all, that comes from knowing your body. That comes from um, knowing what you need when you sew. So that way you won't get too much fabric, but you get more than enough, right? I mean, you get more than enough and not too much, if that makes sense. All right. So yeah, so now I'm prepared for my sewing. All I need to do now, my next step is to go ahead and start cutting it all out. I'm gonna go ahead and take a trip to one of the places that you all recommended so I can grab my bags to store them in. Because if not, they'll be all over the place, and I need to move this off my table so I can go ahead and start sewing. All right. So let me know where you are with this challenge. Let me know if you're participating, one, and then let me know if you have all of your things together. Like I say that the challenge actually begins tomorrow, August 7th, and there is no deadline. Well, technically, the deadline is at the end of the year. So you have over almost 5 months to get this done. All right. So at first, when I was presented this challenge, I was like, 30 yards. And I'm thinking, usually challenges run a month, right? And so when I read all the instructions, all the details and everything, then I was able to breathe a little bit better. All right. So I went to work to pull out what I want to do, things that I've been saying that I'm going to do. And it just gives me structure. All right, gives me structure. It gives me like the next project to work on, instead of being all over the place. Sometimes I think we'll lose our sojo, if you will, because we're surrounded by all this fabric. We see all these other challenges going down. We see all these beautiful projects being made up, and we're like, oh, I want to do that. Oh, I want to do that. And then we're jumping from one project to the next. But this kind of keeps you focused. All right. So, Liana, thank you so much for sharing your name with me. So, Liana says, I sent an Amazon link to the bags. Okay, thank you. Cool. She says, I'm definitely participating. Good. I think I've got everything. All right, good for you. I still need to figure out a few more projects. All right. And y'all, if you don't have your notions, if you don't have everything, try to think of projects that you can use that don't require notions. Make like me, start on a quilt. Take some of the scraps from your past projects that you didn't throw away yet, that you was gonna do something with one day, and create your quilt. Make your tote bag. Think of these projects like some of the these are some of the bingo projects. These are mini challenges that she put on here, which are easy projects to do that you can work with. You're in London. I figured you were probably in the UK when you were talking about me. You were either in UK, uh, outside the US, because you were talking about meters. So, but good to know. Thank you for watching in from London. I appreciate you. All right. So, anybody else? Where are you at? Where my YouTube folks? Where y'all at on this challenge? What's going on? All right. So, one of the bingo, um, some of the bingo challenges. She said, while you're transforming your fabric into beauties, try some of these mini challenges. So, there's the 1 yard wonder. All right. So, you create a project using exactly 1 yard. That's easy to do, right? Scrap attack. Make something entirely from fabric scraps. I see, I just mentioned all of that, right? Use something like you can do a tank style top that doesn't require but um, anything but thread, fabric and thread. Like you can do your own bias binding. Some of my projects required bias binding tape. Bias binding tape, but I can do self bias binding, and that's extra yardage, right? It's usually in order to get a good little bit of bias binding, they tell you to use a yard of fabric, and it's the way you cut it. And then you cut the binding out. That can be yardage used, right? So the scrap attack makes something entirely from fabric scraps. All right, hey Carol, color challenge. I'm sorry. Use only fabrics of a specific color or color scheme. Now I saw Shamir the other day. She's got these beautiful orange hues, orange and rust hues that she's using. So that's a color scheme. All right. Pattern play. Mix and match at least 3 different patterns in one project. Th- That's a challenge right there. So if you need ideas on what to sew, go to Pink Mimosa by Jacinta and print out the bingo card and follow it. All right. Leona says, I saw some bag tutorials on YouTube that I might want to try. Yeah, definitely. If you're into bonnets, try the bonnets. If you're into aprons, aprons will work. Line your aprons, make a double-sided apron with the self-made bias binding. That's a lot of yardage right there. And that'll be a good project to mix and match different fabrics. Like you have one fabric on one side, one on the other side, and you can use a third fabric for the binding and the ties. There you go. All right, so twins. All right, grab a buddy and work on the same pattern. All right, so that's one that you can do. Partner with somebody and sew up the same pattern. That's the easy project that'll get you through it relatively quickly or in a fun way. And you're holding each other accountable at the same time, right? All right, so I'll need to purchase notions before midnight. What you know what? With that being said, though, Leona, to be honest, I thought about that. I said, now I need. I thought about my shoulder pads that I didn't get, so I'm sure as long as you get your purchases in, as you said, Leona, by midnight, they'll ship to you in while you're sewing up this 30 challenge. It's not going to count against you because you've already purchased it. You're just waiting on it to be delivered. All right. So I thought about that. So thank you for mentioning that. It's a good way to get those notions in there. Go on, go to these places because I ain't getting paid for none of it. So go to these places that you normally order your notions from. Order them tonight before midnight so you can get all your notions in. All right, and you'll be ready. All right. So here's another one. Quick so complete a project in under 3 hours. Think of something that you can do in 3 hours. That can be a tote bag. That can be an apron. Um, That can be a little lap quilt, lap blanket, or bind if you know a child or somebody who's getting ready to have a baby and you need to do a gift, a little blanket with a little binding around it. That's an easy project to do, right? Seasonal sewing. Create something inspired by the current season. All right, so it's hot in summertime. We just finished, several of us, Rochelle, I don't know if Rochelle is still on here, but she was doing the sorry, Hot Girl Summer Challenge and Hot Girl Summer Sewing Challenge, I think, because there's another Hot Girl Summer out here. And then Carol and I were on live one night talking, and we talked about doing the hot old chick summer challenge. We just finished that up. So think of something that you can do during this summer season that'll get you through it. A vest. A vest would be a great idea. You can do a reversible vest. So you can use one fabric on one side and another fabric on the other side and reverse it, right? So that's a great idea. Quick project, under 3 hours. For some of you, it might be an hour project, but that's something that you can do. And vests are pretty popular right now. Um, and I just mentioned making gifts. So one of the other ones is gift it. Make a gift for someone using your stash. All right. So these are great ideas. Accessory day. So an accessory like a bag, hat, or a scarf. A scarf is a great idea to use the yardage. All right. A hat. I on my list, I didn't mention this, but one of my projects, my extra projects, is a bucket hat. If you saw me post that me and a few of the ladies Divya, we were on the other night and they all had bucket hats and I didn't. I need a bucket hat. So that's a great project. Home decor. Create a home decor item such as a pillow, curtains, or table runners. These are all items or projects that will pull yardage from your stash that you probably already have and don't need to buy it. All right. So think of what kind of home decor stuff you need. Me and the ladies the other night, same live I'm talking about, we were talking about doing a quilt, table runner quilt. And so a lot of us have scraps, we have extra fabrics. You might not have full yardages of fabric, but you have enough that you can use to create a quilt with, or a table runner, or pillows. Y'all might need to refresh your pillows on your bed or your sofa, your chairs or whatever. So y'all, let's get it done. Let's get it done. All right, so wardrobe refresh. Here's another one. Sew a new piece of clothing for your wardrobe. All right. So, how many of us are revamping our wardrobes or freshening it up, getting rid of the old stuff we ain't used in a while, sending it to Goodwill, thrift stores, or gifting it to somebody? But now you need to build on your wardrobe. So, think of something that you need to add into your wardrobe, something you need that you can make instead of buy. All right. Mystery fabric, y'all. Y'all, we got that piece of fabric in our stash that we don't know what we're gonna do with. So use a fabric from your stash that you've been unsure about. Get creative. All right. Big timer sew. I'm sorry, big timer. Sew something that needs at least 5 yards of fabric. I found mine, y'all. I did have the quilt that needed it's got 6 yards of fabric, but I do have my suit that I'm going to make that requires 5 yards, 2.5 for the jacket and 2.5 for the pants. So we can do that. Technique tryout. Try a new sewing technique or pattern. All right. Maybe there's a pattern you've been wanting to try, but you've been intimidated by it. Pick that pattern up. Or there's a technique that you want to try. Try it out. This is a great time to do that and use some of that fabric. Um, give it away now. Give at least 10 yards of fabric away. At least 10 yards. You can give 10 yards away and then you only have 20 yards to sew. I'm just saying. All right. And then lastly, I mentioned this earlier, the fabric swap. Swap a piece of fabric with another person and create something with it. Don't let that fabric sit there. Hey, Michelle, don't let that fabric sit there after you've swapped it. All right. So, Y'all, this 30-yard challenge fabric can be a lot of fun. I'm gonna be popping in and out during the duration of my 30 yards to show you where I am and what I'm doing and what my progress is. I'll be going live. Sometimes I might just go live inside the So Much Talent group. Sometimes I might go live on Instagram, which I go live a lot on Instagram. Hey, Elisa. Uh, but then I might go live. I might come live here. So I did say I was going to do three parts to prepping for this challenge. So this will conclude tonight's part two of prepping for the whole 30 fabric challenge. But I am going live again. Maybe maybe I'll go live Friday to do part three. Maybe I'll go live Friday. So I can come in and show you where I am. My next step is to cut this out. All right. So I'm not going to promise that I'm going to cut all of my projects out at one time. 'Cause I don't usually roll like that. But old habits are hard to break sometimes, but I might need to develop some new habits so I can get through it. All right. So the one thing you want to remember through this challenge is to pace yourself. Just because we're working on getting 30 yards done, do it in bite-sized pieces. Don't think about the 30 yards. Once you've pulled your projects together, while you're pulling your projects together, you're averaging out your 30 yards of fabric. So once you do that, just think about the first project that you're going to work on, then the next one. And as you're doing it, go ahead and mark it off. You got a place where you started and a place where you completed it. So that way you can see your progress and share it with everybody. Don't forget to share it. The hashtag for this is hashtag whole 30 fabric challenge. All right. Hashtag whole 30, the number 30 fabric challenge. All right. And then make sure you tag at Pink Mimosa by Jacinta in it because this is her challenge. All right. So I'm sure she would love to see where you are with this challenge and how you're coming. And I'm sure she'd love to see how she's inspired so many to participate. This is not the first challenge, from what I understand. I don't know how many she's had before, but this is my first time participating. All right. So thank you all so much for coming in. For those of you that are on Instagram, thank you so much for tuning in. For those of you that are here on YouTube, thank you. And for those of you that are watching on So Much Talent, I'm sorry, on the Facebook page, So Much Talents page, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. If you have questions, um, I may be able to help you, but I would say forward all your questions about the challenge to Jacinta at Pink Mimosa by Jacinta on Instagram. If you're not on Instagram and you're inside the So Much Talent group or you're on the page, just DM me and I'll help you the best that I can. All right. Divya says I'm taping pattern right now, and my daughter gave me bags from the restaurant to store my projects together and label each. All right, good, good. All right, so Divya is taping her stuff together right now. How many of you already have your projects planned or majority of projects planned? Let me know in the comments. I would love to see where you are. All right, so if you want to see the rest of my projects that I planned out, that I'm planning to sew, check out the first video. I'll see if I can link it on this one as I get ready to post this. I may link it in the comments or in the description section. But you should be able to see it if you go to the live videos here on YouTube. You'll be able to see part one, and so that's where I share my plans of all my projects. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off, but I do want to thank you all again for tuning in. I love y'all to life, blessings and peace, and happy evening, happy sewing to everybody. Talk to y'all soon.